What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel on this depressing Sunday. I'm gonna say that because the news, and this is not even football, or this is not on the field related, but the news coming out in the last couple of 2 days, hours, is looking bad. It's as simple as that. It's looking really, really bad for us, for the club, and for the near future. If I'm being completely honest, it's not looking good. And it's actually a little bit expected. Maybe not as much in terms of how it's developing now, but in terms of what I believe, it's kind of expected. But I will get into it in this video. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and let's go. So I say it's suppressing news because it is, if I'm being completely honest. The news coming out is bad. I think everybody saw the news by now. Besides the plusvalenza crap that will come out, or the decision will apparently be tomorrow, Tuesday, but you never know. The wage thing is getting worse. It's getting worse, and it's looking very ugly at this point. So a quick recap, and I know my camera is a bit behind, but whatever. A quick recap. So basically, in June, there will be a new ruling about a punishment on the wage agreement. Now, Article 4 has been stated for all the managers, even the team manager of the women team, for some agents, and so on, excuse me. For the club, Article 6 has been mentioned. Now, you would think that's a good thing. Well, it's not, because Article 6 says the club is responsible for everybody working for them, and everybody working for them got caught, if you want to say caught, or got slapped on Article 4. So it's Article 4 for the club. Article 4, again, is basically saying you have been disloyal to the sport. It doesn't say you cannot do this, 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 and this. It doesn't say that. It's just you have been disloyal, and we can do whatever we want. That's basically what's happening. That's the Article 4. Now, the Coney came out and said, "Oh, it's too much. 15 points first. Let's get into it." Blah blah blah. Now, 2 weeks ago, they came out saying, "You know what? It's not actually too much. You can prosecute a team based on nothing, where no rules are on, where no things are set on, just vibes and whatever you want." That's what came out, which makes this even worse because they can go out and slap whatever they want on the club, and you can actually really do nothing about it at this point. Um, that's the current situation. The interesting thing is that the club could have found an agreement, meaning they could have agreed with the prosecutors and all those things, saying, "You know what, whatever you want to give us, we agree taking half and let's move on." The club said no, which means that if you get, let's say, to keep it simple, 30 points deduction for the wage thing, you can only lower it down to 20. But if you found an agreement, basically, it could have been 15 and wrapped up. Now, that's the part I do like about the club, because they're basically saying, no, we're innocent. We're not going to agree with it. We're going to fight it. The flip side is we're terrible at fighting it. I think the past has shown us that, and the last couple of months has shown us that. So that makes you think, what is the club's game plan at this point? Now, I have a theory or an opinion, which I strongly believe, especially what I'm going to say now. I think the club is looking very weak. I don't like that with everything that's going on, and Alcom put in bankers and journalists and lawyers and all those things. Canavino, Ferrero, you never hear from them. Calvo speaking out of the blue comes Calvo talking. You have Allegri answering these questions, and you have the club being absolute silence. Nothing, nothing coming from the club. It's just Allegri and the fans out there hustling basically, and that's it. That's not good. That's worrying. My theory is that I will say it again, and people might not believe it. That like the club is it's not a big asset for the family. It isn't. It's what they have because of heritage, but like real money, income, value, and all those things, it's not. And this feels like again a bit like 2006, like a cleanup with a lot of excuses. And with excuses, I mean you will get, let's say you will get 12 points this week or even 15 points again, whatever, because we were certain about, oh no, 15 is too much, so there will be a bit lower. They can still go to 15 apparently because of what Coney said. They can go back to 15, which is absolutely hilarious because first it said 9, then 15, then 15 is too much, and now back to 15. It's ridiculous. But again, it's Italy. My theory is that the wage thing will be worse. I believe they will ask for something absolutely ridiculous for the following season because they cannot apparently do it now because the season ends in June. The club can appeal it. You cannot do that for this season, but for the following season, and you can still suggest it's for this season if you view it in the way that we will deduct you, let's say 50 points. I'm just saying something. While you get relegated, basically. But I believe they will deduct so many points that even if you, after appeal, you will start the new season off with such a point deduction that it's ridiculous to play for. It's just vibing and trying to survive, basically. That's what I believe is coming. I do believe that because the way things are moving, the way the club cannot make a fist, that the way they're actually being laughed about, all these things suggest to me personally that this is a clean out. Scanovino, Freno, all those guys in being quiet. Then you have today's or like yesterday's news basically coming out saying that a part of the management doesn't want you in Italy. They don't want change, all those things. It feels like there's, again, a little power struggle, which is weird because the only guy in power is basically the owner, which is absolutely madness, but it is what it is. But this feels like a clean out. This feels like the club will appeal stuff and it will go from 40 points deduction, let me say something, to 15. And you will have a lot of fans be like, oh, at least it's not 40, something like that. This feels like a cleanup. This feels like year zero, basically, and start from scratch. Clean the books, drop out players, find excuses to kick out players whilst the fans will agree with it. Get the fans on board in terms of, oh, you see what they're doing to us, but at least we fought something and we got points back, all that crap. That's the vibes I'm getting. The vibes I'm getting is that this is kind of a cleanup, and they're okay with what's going to happen a little bit. If it's just, how do you want to say that? If it's not 15 points, if it's like 15 and not 50, excuse me, and whatever, if it feels normal, quote unquote, I think the club is actually happy with it because they're being so quiet. Nothing is leaking. They keep repeating, oh, with respect for authorities and whatever they want and blah, 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 and this and that. It doesn't feel like they're really fighting it. The fact that they're anonymous, that they're not speaking up, that they're putting Allegri out there and the fans to hustle and whatever, kind of gives me the feeling or the vibe that this is a complete cleanup and the club is actually not happy with what's happening, but it's convenient what's happening to push a certain thing they want to do. I believe the coming years will be even worse than this one. This is not the worst thing because based on the news that we have now, today, Sunday, and I'm recording this video a day earlier, but still, Sunday, it's not looking good. It's absolutely not looking good. For this season, we know what's going to happen. There's no Europe next season. Hopefully, I mean, yeah, I want to be in the Champions League. But if it's not Champions League, just deduct points and deduct so many points that we don't even go into the Conference League. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to be in that crap, whatever you want to call that. But even for the following season, it's really, really not looking good. And I know people will say, and that's a good question, by the way, but why are they in talks with Di Maria then? Is he going to stay, knowing what's happening with the club? Is the club willing to pay so much in wages, knowing what's happening at the club? Maybe, but why is Alexandro staying? Why is there rumors about Quadrado getting a new deal? Why are there rumors about Bonucci just playing it out for one more year? All these things coming out now. And that's why I'm very hesitant in terms of transfer news. It makes absolutely no sense. But with the news that's coming out in the last couple of days, hours, you need to be very pessimistic. Like, there's nothing to be optimistic about off the field and the way the club is moving, how anonymous they are. It's a really bad sign, in my opinion. Because if they deducted 15 points from us based on absolutely nothing, like, I'm going to say it, nothing. On the wage thing, they might have some things, but the way they're using Article 4, it kind of suggests they're just gluing pieces together, basically, and hopefully some things will stick good enough for the judges to be like, yeah, well, yeah, we can take that. But the Plus Valenza thing is absolutely, well, dog shit. Like, I think you have so many people coming out now, not even linked to the club, actually linked to other clubs, being like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is absolutely making no sense whatsoever. But you have Gravino also saying, the club needs to, sort their things out. It feels already pre-written. It feels like they know what's going to happen. It feels like they have a clear idea what they're trying to do now, no matter what is right or wrong. But this is really bad. This is really bad. I think people are... I'm not worrying about the 15 points because it's set in stone. They're going to kick us out of the top 4. It's as simple as that. But for the following season, and I say following season, if they're going to say we're going to deduct you 50 points, because don't be shocked if that's what they're going to ask for the wage thing. Don't be absolutely shocked, because they asked for 15 points for the Plus Valenza thing, where there's absolutely no rule about. They have nothing. Like, it's made public now. They have nothing. It's all making no sense. Don't be shocked if you hear something about 40, 50 points on the wage thing. Don't be absolutely shocked, because I wouldn't be shocked, because I'm saying it now. That's the direction we're going in my opinion. But again, let's see in June. What I did want to add was, I said it's for next season, but if it's so many points, they can say, you know what, we're going to add that to the 15 we're giving you now. The club will appeal it, blah, 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 all those things. But that will set kind of a bomb under the league. If the club is actually serious, they will appeal, go higher up, all those things. But that's not the vibes the club is giving you. It's not. It feels like they're kind of in survival mode, auto-tune, autopilot, and actually also waiting on the Super League kind of ruling from the European Court in June, I think it was. Was it in June? Mid-June? Something like that? Or was it at the beginning of July? I don't know. I'm not sure. One of the 2 months. Kind of waiting for that, what's going to happen with that. That's the vibes they're giving me now. And not good. It's not looking good, But again, let me know in the comments what you think. This is just based on the news, what's out there now. Let's see in the coming days, more things will come out. But for now, it's really, really looking bad. And the way the club is being so distant from this all doesn't give me a lot of hope. But yeah, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will be back today for a preview, I think, or tomorrow, not sure. Let's see. But thanks for watching. Ciao.